Whew, that's good news. Glad to hear my mom's not a killer.
We still don't know who the culprit is, though. And I'm running short on leads.
Wait, then where is Mom now?
About that. She's still got some stuff to take care of, but she said she'll be back once it's all handled.
Yeah? What kind of stuff with that? Shopping? Now? Okay, then. So, what are your plans?
Actually, June, you and I are gonna hang for a bit.
We are?
Yeah. After all you've been through looking for your mom, I figured grand tour of Kamurocho sound good?
Hell yeah!
Let's hit this.
Okay! All right, let's go, Kaito! We going?
Takayuki Yagami. They call him Ta.
Is he strong?
Well, to an extent. But there's no way he can take me.
Whoa, he...
Tough enough to count on in a pinch, yeah. I'll introduce you when I get the chance.
Man.
All fit.
Yo!
Don't worry.
Yeah, right! Like I'd ever buy... No frickin' way.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't know you were Mikiko's kid when this all started.
You tried to kidnap me on multiple occasions, by force! I hope you get struck by lightning!
I was only doing my job. You should have just came along quietly.
Seriously? Who'd be dumb enough to just go along with some shady Yakuza? You even have a brain in your head?
What? Of course I do. You're the brainless one.
All right, kids, settle down. Senda, don't we have places to be? Good to go.
Okay, let's hit the road. Oh, but the kid's gotta stay. Boss wants to talk mano a mano.
That right.
What? Why can't I come with?
Because I said so, twerp.
Jerk. Be that way.
June.
Oh! You'll bring her back. Okay. Then I'm gonna hold you to that. Make sure nothing bad happens to her. Got it?
That's a promise. You'll see her again real soon.
Remember! You promised!
God, what an annoying little punk. Cocky as hell, too.
Damn right. So, Igarashi, Why Ijincho? Wasn't everything going down in Kamurocho?
It just so happens that Rhizome, the precursor to Crimson Lotus, is having a reunion today. The venue's a hotel in Ijincho. And every founding member of that group will be there. At least the ones who are still alive.
I'm guessing Mikiko wants every last one of them dead, doesn't she?
Uh-huh. On top of that, her final target's also planning to show. The one she wants dead the most.
You mean outside of Crimson Lotus? Who?
The one going around killing the founders of Crimson Lotus before she can.
What the hell are you talking about? Why'd Mikiko want to take out who's ever killing her enemies? They've got a common goal, don't they?
Hell, you're a detective. Try using that old noggin of yours, why don't you? Primitive as you are, I'm sure you can piece it together, knowing what you know. Plus, Ijincho's an hour away. How about we make like detectives and go over what we know?
Yeah, sounds a bit too buddy-buddy for me. Besides, I'm a punch-first, go-over-shit-later kind of guy.
Yeah, I can see that. However, if you were to, say, arrive at the truth on your own, then no one breaks confidentiality.
Fine, fine, I'll bite. So, the real killer, huh? That security company owner, Ashizaki. His office was set on fire. But the point of burning the place wasn't to kill him. After all, he was shot.
Oh,
So there's our problem. Why would the killer want to burn the office? I'm thinking. There was some evidence that would
interesting. And?
I think I know just what the killer was trying. I asked a buddy if what he found were records of illegal wire transfers to the security company. And the company sending the cash was a smartphone app developer that isn't around. I'd wager the killer'd want to have these records erased.
Hey, you're good. Didn't think you'd get your hands on those. By the way, that smartphone app company, you're talking about Devenir, I assume.
Okay, how the hell do you know?
It was thanks to Mikiko-san, really. She requested we look into a certain someone. Over the course of our investigation, we learned about a dummy company called Devenir. And, as you can guess, he used it to directly employ Crimson Lotus. Cover-ups to customers.
So you're saying this guy's the one who's been killing off the Crimson Lotus founders?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Now, who could it be? Here's a hint. Mikiko-san approached us anonymously. Why do you think she'd do that?
Well, you guys could have broken confidentiality and let it slip that she was alive, after all. Her plan was to take out Crimson Lotus without leaving a trace.
Sure. But that's just one reason. There's someone aside from Crimson Lotus. As a matter of fact, Mikiko-san never even contacted this person about it. Even though you'd think this would be the first person she'd run to after getting her memories back.
Wait a goddamn minute.
All coming together.
Kyoya Sadamoto? You're saying he's the one killing the founder?
Yep, you got it. And Mikiko-san has the same idea.
What? So then, he was trying to erase his tie? No. Crimson Lotus's founders were the ones who set fire to Mikiko's family's house. Why the hell would Sadamoto have connections with the guys who burned his wife's family?
Oh, so you picked up on that. Then you'll like Sadamoto's dummy company, Devanir. It had records from 17 years ago of illicit wire transfers to Ashizaki's security company. Know what that means?
Yeah, I figured that out too. Actually, it's weird. 17 years is way before Mikiko and Sadamoto got married, but Sadamoto and Crimson Lotus were connected back then, right? So what the hell's going on?
Just think of it like this. The Natsume family arson falls under questionable ties between Sadamoto and Crimson Lotus.
That would mean... Oh, that's crazy! Sadamoto was involved in the arson?
Bingo. What happened 2 years ago was Mikiko-san learned the truth. And Sadamoto and Crimson Lotus tried to silence her.
All right, Igarashi. No more guessing games. Just who the hell is Kyoya Sadamoto, really?
The fucking devil. The type who'd make a Yakuza piss himself.
The devil?
It all started with Rhizome, an event club Kenmochi started during his college days. Rhizome was like any other event group. You get together with friends, throw parties, go on live tours, and make a little cash. Guess they weren't making much back then. Then enters Kyoya Sadamoto, a business admin major at the same college. He started showing up as their advisor. They all ate up Sadamoto's words and expanded their services into some pretty gray territory. Since Sadamoto considered himself their advisor, he wasn't officially part of the group. But his talent, his accomplishments, and charisma had them wrapped around his finger.
And that Rhizome bunch went on to found Crimson.
Yeah, mainly around Kenmochi. Sadamoto already started his own business. By the time he graduated, he was asking Crimson Lotus to do his dirty work. On the outside, he ran his business like some typical ambitious star. But I'm sure he had guys coming after him. Probably made himself lots of enemies. It's what happens when you straddle both sides of the... I bet it wasn't uncommon for him to deal with unhappy customers.
Yes, it must have been convenient having his own personal cleanup crew.
Bet your ass it was. Sadamoto's company saw steady growth because of it. But eventually, that growth started to fizzle out. What was once a promising startup with tons of investment capital found itself in dire straits. That's when he set his sights on Mikiko-san's parents, the Natsumes.
So you're saying you know for sure Sadamoto had a hand in the arson?
Yes. Though it'd be more accurate to say he was the primary offender. It was about 15 years ago. Sadamoto heard about a property development plan from Kenmochi, who was a real estate broker at the time. Would have been a mighty lucrative deal, but the Natsumes were the only ones who wouldn't sell.
Which led to threats and burning the place down. Classic land shark bullshit.
Oh, if only it had stopped at that. Now listen. What makes Sadamoto such a devil is what he did with the info Kenmochi brought him. He reworked it into a plan to fix all of his own company's problems in one fell swoop.
How's that work?
Kaito, the Natsume family was one of the richest in the area. If you include their property and stocks, they were worth tens of billions in assets. And since Sadamoto was struggling with funds at the time, he decided to help himself to that fortune.
But he couldn't pull that off in this... No way!
Yeah. Marrying Mikiko-san was all part of his master plan.
That's... insane!
Clearly, the man has a way with people. Call it an uncanny knack for charm. His college circles treat him like a guru. They say he's a living legend. Even his company seems to be under his spell. And as we know, Crimson Lotus was always ready and willing to take up any of his dirty jobs. So, After he had the parents eating out of his palm, he discovered their younger daughter had a stalker, while the older one was dating a Yakuza.
Wait, what do I have?
You should know, Kaito. Sadamoto used you too.
Me? How the hell could Sadamoto use me at any point in time?
Well, when Mikiko-san first met him, she told him she was seeing someone and thinking of marriage. Now, how do you think he
Did?
Well, he figured if you were serious about her, you'd quit the Yakuza. If you needed cash, he'd go convince her parent. If it was a lawyer you needed, he would have arranged one.
He really offered all that?
I'm sure Sadamoto knew how hard it was for a Yakuza to leave the light. Not to mention, the Matsugane family had its own problems at the time, right? In any case, he knew you were locked in. And convinced Mikiko-san of you both did exactly what he wanted. Then, once you were out of the picture, Sadamoto made... And after the marriage was official, Sadamoto simply had to bide his time until the Natsume house burned down and their fortune was his to claim. Guy's a monster in human skin, right? I'm almost certain the kid was conceived as part of the plan to push her into marrying. In other words, June was not... I feel terrible for Mikiko-san and...
When did she figure out?
About 2 years ago, Sadamoto got hammered. Rare for him. That's when she stumbled upon his email exchange with Kenmochi. Of course, that set off alarms in her head, so she dug through more of his inbox. It wasn't long before she knew the ugly truth, but then Sadamoto woke up. When he realized what she saw, he got violent.
I doubt Mikiko would go down easy to some pencil-pushing civvy.
Well, it turns out she did go down easy. We're talking about a guy who deals in the criminal underworld. He's very likely accustomed to...
What happened after Mikiko got attacked?
She said her memories got fuzzy after that. She was probably drugged. And Sadamoto had Crimson Lotus clean up his...
Gotta say...
Well, that's what happens when you know society like the back of your hand. The whole R&D thing might have been my idea. But it's only because we know our shit.
All right.
So, how's it feel? That asshole Sadamoto played you like a fiddle and tore you apart from the woman you loved.
It doesn't matter. I made my choice.
Ha! That's the lamest shit I ever heard. I thought you'd blow a fuse.
That said, I'll feel a hell of a lot better if I can just clock him one time real good.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Go knock his goddamn lights out.
So, this is the spot.
Yeah, they do this reunion every year. And apparently Kyoya Sadamoto shows up to everyone. All the surviving founders of Crimson Lotus are probably in here somewhere.
I gotta go find Mikiko. Before she does something she can never take back. A receptionist. Guess you gotta have connections to get in.
What's the plan, Kaito?
Gonna roll the way a detective rolls.
Meaning...
By sneaking in with a disguise.
You? Disguised as...
Yeah. What's happening
I'm
over here?
keeping watch in case Mikiko's...
Gotcha. I guess there is
Let
a
me know
chance.
if you need a hand, Kaito.
Okay.
Kaito, if you need a hand from Senda, just ask. He'll do anything for Mikiko-san, I'm
Got
sure.
it. Thanks.